Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Denise and today I'm gonna make another grid painting because I'm obsessed with these. And you can kind of tell, you know, I batch work when I make stuff, videos and stuff. I'll do quite a few in a row and then get those scheduled out so that I'm a little bit ahead. And then I'll take a little bit of break from video recording and work on website stuff, and sometimes I'll work on class stuff, and sometimes I'll just binge watch Netflix for a couple days, just taking myself a little bit of a break. And you can tell with all of these I've been like super inspired painting just the little fun grid pieces, little bitty abstracts that are very stress-free, just fun to kind of play in and experiment and see what like your different supplies can do. And I thought today that we would do one of these in kind of thinking like purple and green. Like, what do you say? Purple and green. I don't know why I thought that today, but I looked at these watercolors. These are the Masha's watercolors, and this is the 20-piece Denise Love set that she made for me quite a while back, just where I picked out my 20 favorites of the different colors that she offered, which was super cool. And sometimes she stocks those in her Etsy shop, but other than that, I like the sampler sets if you're looking for like a variety of colors to try out. These are just some of my favorite watercolors. They granulate, they're really beautiful and kind of deep and very saturated, and they're just gorgeous. And I'm kind of thinking in this set, I do actually have the names of these. I like this ultramarine purple and the shadow purple, which are the two I just used, and I like this shadow green dark. So I'm just going to be grabbing some of these colors, and that's the color names there of what's in this set. If you see something that you like, you can kind of play and look up those on her Etsy shop. And I'm not an affiliate for her. I just truly love her watercolors more so than almost all my other watercolors. These are my super fave on the watercolors. And I love this yummy kind of moss color. It's beautiful. And I'm just playing. We're just getting the paint down and trying different shapes, and then we'll come back and do some mark making. I'm working on a piece of 9x12 honey mule paper, which is one of my favorites to work on, and makes these colors in this collection just so rich and beautiful. And I didn't start with a color palette, so we'll probably end up going off the rails with the color at some point, but that's okay. You know, I've realized here this year especially, you know, I love working with those color palette cards because I think all the color work that I've done my whole life in interior design and with different projects and things that I've done, I have color anxiety. I like too many colors, and so I get frozen at the color choice stage. And working with the color cubes over the past 2 years has really helped me solidify that I like starting with a color palette like that. It kind of eliminates, it helps me get rid of that color anxiety right there as I get started, so that I'm not like stuck before I even began. And I never really realized that that was what this was. It's an anxiety. It's like white page paralysis. It's just something that kind of stops you in your tracks, and you're like, oh, how do I move past this? Let's just move down this line of blues and purples. And working with a color palette to begin with, I've just discovered helps me eliminate that anxiety and lets me get started painting much easier than I've ever done at any other part in my art explorations. Which is why a lot of times, you know, people are like, oh, you're so joyful in your painting. Yeah, I've gotten rid of that anxiety right there as I got started, which significantly helped my mental love of art and play. and enjoying the process. Otherwise, I get just very uptight and upset and stressed out, and then I wonder why I even have a creative business, why I even make the effort. It's helped me get past all of that mental anxiety and pressure that we put on ourselves with our art. Just as in case you wondered how you might get past some of that, if that's where you're getting stuck. Or if you're picking colors and you're like, that's terrible, why did I pick that? Which I do a lot, which we may do here, but I'm feeling pretty good about purple and yellow. You know, I studied color in college. I've done workshops, photography workshops on color years ago on my website. Those are all retired now, but I've always kind of had a focus on color, but then I like all the colors. I just love too many things. And some people, they have a very set color palette that they work in their art, and I like all the colors. I want all the colors in my art, which is why, especially on this YouTube channel, I have just really super enjoyed all the color experiments and playing that we do. I've loved that, and I love that y'all come along with me on that and just play and explore and test things out and just seeing like what can we create today if we picked these colors, and not letting the stress and anxiety of those color choices and what are we going to make today impede us even making anything. Because sometimes I would just walk away and I've made nothing for that day, and I'd be very upset about it. And now I walk away and every day is a good paint day. Most days. There's some days when I'm just tired and I'm trying to force it. Those aren't so good. But most days that we're up here painting, we end up with some good paint days just because we get places that we didn't even know we were going. And I love that. All right, let's go back to this yummy shadow purple. And I'm just mark making and playing as I'm running my mouth, because that also seems to stop some of the anxiety of choices and even getting started. If you listen to a book or call a friend and chat while you're painting, or I used to do that with my photography when I'd do a still life setup. I would do the setup and then I would call a friend and we would chat and just laugh while I was shooting and playing. And I found that when I did that, I stayed longer and I got more pieces, more photos that were good, because then I kind of released the stress and anxiety of that session. You know, I kind of let some of the pressure go, basically. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look what that one did. Oh my goodness. That one right there. Oh, we had some fun. Look at that. Okay, let me just pull that up here so you too can admire. We just had like some color bleeding, and it just kind of, I don't know, like maybe it was a storm and that was the tornado coming down out of the sky, which the only reason I'm thinking of that is because we have had lots of storms and tornadoes and stuff like that. But that right there kind of reminds me of, it's a stormy sky there, and we got some fun action. Let's put some of this green up here and just really make that even a moodier, yummier sky. And maybe some of this, we'll pop that up there. Ooh, look at that. Might have just ruined it, but I don't know. That was super fun. Ooh, that was fun too right there. So yeah, call somebody, phone a friend, and say, I need you to distract me while I'm in here playing with whatever it is that you're doing, so that not 100% of your attention is focused on that thing. You're kind of focused on speaking at the same time as painting, which, let me tell you, YouTube videos kind of do the same thing for me. I'm speaking as I'm painting, so a lot of times we move right into the next whatever without a whole bunch of thought or stress or pressure on ourselves. We just kind of keep on rolling. Okay, I like the way this one's doing its little thing as I do those. So that's why I'm doing some more of that. Ooh, these are so pretty. This was a good choice. Good choices today. Pretty, pretty, pretty stuff going on that I wasn't quite expecting. And I like starting off without the expectations, because then no matter where you get, you're like, hey, look what we made today. Which is my favorite way. Look at that. Let's make some marks. Look at that. Which is just turned into my favorite way to create. I don't want to be specific. I don't want to be going in any particular direction. I like the serendipitous nature of what can we make. And then I've made stuff that I never even would have thought of just by going with the flow as I sit down to paint. Oh good, we got color on everything, so I'm kind of looking around like, did I get all the white space? Most of the white space? Okay, kind of thinking that I want some texture right up here. So I'm just going to do that with wet watercolor, and we'll let it kind of soak in and do its thing. Just getting a little bit of extra mark making in here before these dry, just to see what we can get. Just as a what would happen if we did this kind of feel. Alright, those are fun. Let's let that dry, and then we'll be back and do some mark making. So now let's do some mark making. I've got some Arctic markers I think maybe I'll try out, just kind of sticking in the same color range mostly, if we can. Just to kind of get us started, maybe with some, that might not be the same color. What is this color actually? I don't know that I like that. Maybe I do like that. Do we like that? Maybe we like that. Let's just see. I kind of just want to do, I like that little teardrop, so I'm kind of wanting to do some, maybe we didn't love it, but I think it'll blend fine. I like the way that these brush type nibs do a fun teardrop. That's kind of what I was going for there, a little teardrop. And I'm going to put it in more than one place, just cause, kind of like in place of a dot, like when I do dots, now I'm doing little raindrops, kind of where the color itself is, following the line of a color basically. Okay, I really like that one. You know, I do list all of the things that I love to use all the time on my favorites page on my website, which made it easier than trying to hunt down links every time I made a video. So definitely check that link out in the description, and I try to link as much stuff as I can that I use on the Blick website and on the Amazon website. So definitely check there if you're looking to see what different things I'm using in the videos, because I got lots of fun favorites, and that made it easier for me to put it all in one place for you. Ooh, I like that right there. I like tone on tone mark making too a lot of times, because then it makes that area of color more interesting without being like in your face, and as you get closer you're like, ooh, what is that? And it's fun to make these little kind of like surprise discoveries, like little Easter eggs here in your piece of art. instead of having a contrasting color there. I just like what we can get sometimes when it's a color that's tone on tone. I like that. I like it. I like it. Okay, let's see. What else do we want to do? So I'm just going to keep on keeping on. We got some, we could do some, this is my black wing. Let's see. Now let's pull the Pit Matte Graphite. I like the Pit Matte Graphite. And we'll do some, maybe some little mark making in here. Trying not to touch that, and I'm touching it. Be careful. Tell yourself, be careful. That wasn't completely dry. I could feel it as I was drawing, and this pencil will be definitely darker when it's dry. Like, it's definitely darker here. So if you've still got some semi-wet paper, some of these aren't going to be as vivid as you think they're going to be. That's okay. Just pointing that out while I was thinking about it here. Okay, that's a fun Posca color. Khaki green. Good color. I like that one. I'm thinking we'll come back in here with some gold because I like it. So let's do some of this Copic Acrylic gold. It's my favorite gold after those Zig Kuretake gold ones. Kind of thinking here where I want to go with this. Oh yeah, that's a good choice. Okay, that's a lot of fun mark making, and I might want to do a tiny bit of something on top of there, so let me look around and I'll be right back. Okay, I've pulled a couple choices that I've just thought, oh, these are neat. What is this? This one is the Crafter's Workshop TCW 357S. I like the little organic pieces that are kind of like right in here. So I've put out some of my gold mica paste and an ink blending brush. And I like it because this, and I got a piece of punchinella and a couple more stencils. I got the squares, which are the Crafter's Workshop TCW 248S. And I like this one, Stencil Girl S376 Shaw. Just as some options. So that's what I've got out. Try to get a little bit of this gold, not too thick. I want to be real careful. Dry brush, a little bit of dry stencil without too much. And I'm just seeing which one kind of grabs me. Like, look at this one here. Like, maybe this. Yes! That's what I wanted. Look how fun that is. Look how fun that is. Okay. Oh, that made me feel good. Okay. Let's do that somewhere else. Let's see. Right over here. Oh, let's do it right here. Oh, just in like a stripe. I don't want it everywhere. Kind of keeping in mind, where do I actually want it? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Now I want to get up and do a dance. Want to get up and do a dance. Yes, yes, yes. Just a little tiny bit of a yumminess there. Okay, let's see. What else do we like? I like this thing with the little dashes. Let's just throw some up here. Oh, okay, that's fun. I wish they were closer together. Let's see if we can line one up in the middle of that. Oh yeah, see, I like that. I just wish those were definitely closer together. Not sure why they're so far apart. Oh, ha ha ha. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay. Okay, these are getting exciting now. These are getting fun. Some of these little projects that I've done, and you can tell I'm on like a little batch working segment because I've done several of these little grid ones, and a lot of times I'll get an idea in my mind and I'll just ride that idea until I get tired, and then we'll, you know, go to the next idea. And I have just been so inspired by these little tiny pieces, having fun playing with just whatever supplies you have. It's not anything specific that we're trying to do. It's more like, let's play with our supplies, let's experiment, let's just see where we can go with whatever idea happens to grab us in that moment. And these have just been so delightful to play with, little samplers. And I've done samplers on my channel in older videos, but it's been a while since I've done, let's do these up here, little punchinella. It's been a while. Since I started working with the art journals, you see less samplers, and so it's kind of fun to revisit ideas and techniques that I did a while back and come back to those. Okay, I like these little dots. I love little dots. And just revisit. Okay, I might should have left that little dot off, but I still like it. It's still okay. But I could have stayed with just the one that I did. Ooh, I love it. Okay, anywhere else we want to stick the little tiny bit of this? I don't know, these are awfully fun. I am loving where we have gone with this, I think, for now. And, you know, we didn't do any white in there. We could have done a bunch of white, but we didn't. And I'm kind of okay with that. We got little bits of white that shines through. I'm kind of good with that. I could go and do some white mark making, but I think I'm gonna go with this. Let's see where we're at. And peel some tape. We could add some more after we peel tape, but I think for today, I'm kind of excited about where we just landed. With the little bit of gold extra work at the top. My little 1/2" tape is extra sticky, so I'm trying to make sure we don't tear our paper. And I love peeling tape. It kind of reveals and just turns everything into a finished piece when you peel tape. And it just reveals all the fun details that we did. Makes them striking. There we go. Look how pretty these are. Oh, I love these so much. This is why I keep revisiting this project, because they all end up amazing. Seriously, if you're in an art rut, go and pick out some colors, pick out some supplies that you haven't worked with for a while, and just see what can we create in little tiny boxes. It's a way to experiment with all your art supplies that you're afraid to use, the ones that you're saving for something important, because this will get you a chance to work with them without using a lot of them. Look how gorgeous these are. Oh my goodness. These are so pretty, and look at the little gold shiny bits. Oh my gosh, this has been the best paint day and I wasn't even expecting to do like this color palette, the fun marks. We can make them, we can look at them in different directions. You know, you could just frame this just like it is. Look at that one. Ooh, I just really love this one, kind of star bursting out. This is a really good project to play with different compositions. It's a good composition kind of project. Because I don't do starbursties very often, but oh, so much fun. All right, I hope you enjoyed this sampler set today. Check out my favorites page if you want to see the different links to different supplies that I love using. And I'll see you guys next time.